Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Subhub podcast. I'm MK Sullivan.
And I'm Dani Moreno. And welcome back to the
It's been a
Subhub
while,
podcast. It's been a while.
like
I can't
maybe a
even say
month.
it's probably been a month. We'll have to go and see. But it's been a long time. And sorry, not sorry, guys. We've had a lot going on, and that's what's going to be a majority of today's podcast, along
Yeah,
with some other things happening in the trail running world. But yeah, a lot has been happening this past month.
life happened and it happened pretty fast for both of us. I feel like one week we were like preparing to record another episode, and then 2 days later we were both like, actually, this is happening now. So talk to you in 3 weeks.
Exactly. And oddly enough, the stars aligned and it happened within like what, 36 hours of both of us
Yeah,
our life things, which is
yeah.
crazy.
It was, yeah, it was a wild week, but positive things all around, I would say.
Net positive. Let's start with yours because it's my favorite.
Yeah, so on Wednesday, October 15th, I woke up and I went to the pool, went for a little swim, and then I went to the gynecologist and I was 3 centimeters dilated and pretty much fully effaced. And my OB-GYN was like, dude's ready to go. And she did this thing called a membrane sweep, where basically they just like start unattaching the sac from my uterus by just like doing a little finger sweep. And she was like, hey, you're gonna probably go into labor in the next 24 hours. And I was like, cool. She was like, go home, go for a walk, go for another swim, just keep moving because you're probably gonna have like IUD type cramping from this membrane sweep. So I go home and I go for like an hour long walk. And the entire time I'm on the walk, I'm like, oh my God, these are the worst cramps I've ever had in my life. But the OB-GYN told me to walk, so I'm walking and I'm on the phone with my mom and she's like, "Hey, I'm Kate, like I think you should go home." And I was like, "No, no, she told me to walk, so I'm gonna keep walking as I'm having to like stop and hold on to my back because I'm in so much pain." Finally went home after like an hour. Did not text my husband because I was like, "He's at the doctor's office and I'm fine." But I was definitely going into labor. And that was like an hour after the membrane sweep. So that was pretty crazy because she was like, it should happen within 24 hours.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, super crazy. Tommy got home 30 minutes later or something like that. And I was like, hey, don't panic, but I am in labor. He full on like went, like started packing the car, asking me like if I had everything, what are we doing? What's our plan? And I'm like, I don't think that my contractions are close enough together yet. I don't think we should go to the hospital. I'm just like bouncing on the exercise ball watching Love is Blind. And he's like, could you stop watching TV, please? And eventually I timed my contractions for like 2 whole hours and they were kind of all over the place. You're supposed to go to the hospital when your contractions are a minute long, 5 minutes apart for an entire hour. But mine were like 45 seconds long and they were like 3 to 4 minutes apart. So I was like, that's not the right number, so we don't need to go. And Tommy was like, MK, 3 minutes apart is insane. We need to go to the hospital. So he finally convinced me to go to the hospital. By the time we got to the light outside of the hospital, I was like, I'm actually gonna die. Like, I'm so glad we left when we did. Got to the hospital around 4 p.m. Got admitted, got an epidural at like 5:30. Best decision of my life. Loved the epidural experience. I like had this thought that like an epidural would be just like you fully wouldn't be able to feel anything, but it was really cool because you could still feel that you were having contractions. You just weren't in pain for them, which was really sick because before I had the epidural, I was getting to the point where my contractions were only like 30 seconds apart. So I just felt like I couldn't breathe. Um, yeah, and then by 6 p.m., I was like 8 centimeters or 7 centimeters dilated. By 8 p.m., I was like 8 or 9 centimeters. They broke my water. I pushed for an hour, and that's it. And then I had a baby at 9:22 p.m. that day. So it was like a pretty crazy 10 hours, but um, it happened very fast. And I did not think that I was going to have a baby on the same day when I started labor earlier that morning. I was like, ready for a 24-hour, ultra, and it was not that. I had a really honestly positive experience with birth, which is great. I do think, being an athlete and being an endurance athlete helped a lot with those pushes. Tommy took like pictures of my pushes on the monitor. And he was like, they just get bigger every time you do this. You're getting better at it. He was like so stoked, so hype. It was awesome. And yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't know if that's like everything, but I had a baby on October 15th and my due date was October 27th, and it's crazy we're recording this on November 5th, and it is insane to think that I could still be pregnant.
That is crazy, actually.
I'm so
Um,
glad I'm not.
a couple of things. One, I'm really glad you didn't go swimming. Jesus.
Yeah, because I went into labor immediately.
Yeah, you would have been in the pool. I'm just like so happy you didn't choose
Yeah.
swimming.
I didn't go
And
swimming
then,
because I had gone swimming beforehand. So I was like, I'm good to go. I can
yeah,
just go walk.
that's crazy. And then the like Tommy coming home, just like knowing you guys as a couple is just so funny to me because I could just imagine him being like, "What the F, MK? Like, why did you tell?"
Yeah, he was and it's funny because he was at our doctor and he was like, yeah, I feel like Shelby was just so stoked about you, like, and the pregnancy that like we barely even talked about me in the appointment, and then I come home and you're in labor. Yeah.
So good.
It's
I
a
mean, you
it's a
could
good
have
thing to
asked
have both
for
personalities, in that situation. I
sure,
needed
for sure.
somebody to get me out of the door because I was gonna hang out there. I didn't want to get sent home. And I didn't want
Yeah.
to just be like in the hospital, not ready to give birth for like hours.
Yeah,
But
I
it
totally
was a
get
good
that.
thing that he was there to just be like, we have to go now.
Because how long is that drive for you guys?
So it's usually 20, but there was construction and we got stopped at the same light outside the hospital twice. And that's when I was starting to be like, get me out of this mother freaking car. I'm gonna lose it.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Dang. And then who did you welcome into the world?
Oh yeah. Let's see. He's passed out, but we've got Emery Thomas Sullivan here. Oh,
He's
sucking
oh,
on that pacifier.
so cute.
He was 6 pounds, 6 ounces, and 17 inches, so he was pretty small, still is kind of small. We weighed him, at his 2 week appointment last week, and he has already hit over 7 pounds, so he's eaten like a fool, which is awesome. Um, yeah, but I'm pretty happy with delivering a baby 2 weeks early. Small was nice.
Totally.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
can't
through
because
and
they
through,
gain
pretty
like,
good experience, like for
yeah,
your first one. Yeah.
definitely. And they gain like a pound a week or something when they're in your womb. So like if I had made it to my due date, he would have been like 8 pounds, which is pretty normal, but like I'm good with 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
So
how
that's
has
that.
life been with him since him coming into the world?
Yeah. First week was rough, which I think is normal just because you're not used to just like not sleeping. But also the first like 3 nights they do this thing called cluster feeding, which means they might sleep for 2 hours, but they literally might sleep for like 10 to 30 minutes and then ask for food again. And I also wasn't able to pump that first week, or I didn't know if I could, and so Tommy couldn't really help. And so it was just me in the nursery like that first couple nights. I did have to call him and have him sit in there with me a couple nights because I was like so tired. I was like afraid I was gonna like drop our baby or hurt him or something because I kept like falling asleep while I was feeding him and stuff. So Tommy would just come sit in there with me. But then after about a week, I was able to start pumping, and actually, it's not even pumping, but just like catching the leaking milk from just like hearing him cry and stuff that was giving me bottles. And so I was able to give Tommy a bottle for the nighttime. And so now we split. So I sleep in our bedroom for the first 4 hours straight, and he's in the nursery, like sleeping and feeding for that 4 hours. And then I come wake him up, and he goes and sleeps for 4 hours in our bedroom, and I sleep and feed for the rest of the morning. So we've gotten into like a pretty good groove with that. It's insane how much more refreshed you feel after 4 hours of sleep than after like a night of, 30 minutes to 2 hours at a time. I feel like I've adapted pretty well to the lack of sleep, but I do think it helps a ton that like Tommy and I are splitting because yeah, that 4 hours is like a game changer.
Oh, for sure. I mean, at
Yeah.
that point, it probably feels like a full night of sleep.
Oh yeah, like when I wake up to go into the nursery, I'm like, I need to like wind down again to go back to sleep because I'm like, all right, I'm breastfeeding and now I'm listening to him. Is he still alive? Like, what are we doing now? And then normally I'll get like now at this point like maybe 2 2 hour stretches of sleep, which is still pretty good. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, I mean, life's just like I'm not doing anything, but breastfeeding so much is really busy. Like my whole life kind of during the day is like a 2 hour rotation, sometimes more because he's just like growing. And it's crazy how fast time flies when you're just like when you only have 2 hours between things, you know? Especially if
Yeah.
he doesn't fall asleep right away, like if he decides to stay awake for like an hour or something, then it's like, where did that time even go? He slept for 30 minutes and now we're breastfeeding again.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
2 hours isn't that long, but it's also you could run Mammoth Trail Fest 26K in that amount of time.
so true. And now I have bottles so I can get help, you know?
Yeah.
We live very close to my in-laws. My parents are down the road and everybody's very willing to help. I haven't been ready to give him up yet. Like Tommy's like, we should go on a date night soon. And I'm like, can we take the baby with us on the date night? Because yeah, I'm not ready to just like drop him for 2 hours. But I'm
Yeah.
sure I'll get there soon. He's just so cute and I just want to like hang out with him.
Of course, you do. Well, it's just so, I mean, I'm not a mom, but like having him grow inside of you and then actually get to touch him now is probably just so cool. It's like you felt him, but you didn't know what he looked like or anything like
Yeah.
that.
It was honestly surprising like when I gave birth to him and he like popped out and he started crying. The first thing I said was like, "Oh my God, he's real." I was like sobbing and I was like I just said that out loud and it was it was funny to feel that way because obviously for Tommy, he was much less real the whole time. Like it's like, "Oh, he kicks and like that's cool, but I'm not experiencing this in the same way as you are." But even for me, like having lived with him for 10 or I guess 9.5 months, it was like, "Oh my God, that's a real human being now." We had a baby. And then the second thing I said was, what is he going to be for Halloween? Because now I have like 15 days to plan a Halloween costume, which, as Danny knows, I didn't plan until the day of. So,
Oh, which was surprising to me because you guys love Halloween.
yeah, we just like, I couldn't
You didn't know when you're
commit
gonna
my
have him
brain
though.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's a very, very cool thing. I still can't believe that it's like a real thing some days. I'm just like, whoa, one, we decided to have a baby. That's crazy. Two, he's here. And we have to like take care of this thing, keep him alive. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I still feel like I'm not old enough to do this sometimes, at 31.
Oh, girl, I know. There's so many things in life. I'm like, how am I allowed to do this just by myself?
I saw an Instagram reel the other day that was like, we just met each other 8 years ago, and now we're having a teen pregnancy. And I was like, that is how I feel. Oh,
Oh
but
man.
yeah, life's
So what's
different, that's for sure.
yeah, so now like looking forward, just like close proximity. Obviously there's a long runway. What's next?
What's next is that I'm actually getting surgery at the end of the month on November 24th. I'm
Yeah.
getting
Have you
my
shared that? Maybe this
I,
is your first
I
time
can't
sharing.
remember if I shared that I was getting surgery. I remember that I shared that I had torn my Achilles and that's why I had stopped running, which
Yeah.
was a byproduct of my Haglins. Yeah, I've had this Haglins thing for like maybe 2 to 3 years now. I can't really put a finger on exactly what year that was. But in the last like year, it's gotten to the point where, like before Black Canyon, I basically couldn't run for 2 weeks. And then I got pregnant, and the worst thing for an Achilles is all that extra weight that I put on. So Yeah, I'm finally getting surgery because, of course, I found out that I needed surgery after I was already pregnant, and there's nothing you can do about it. Um, and yeah, so I've got quite a bit of a long road ahead of me in terms of that because the earliest I'll be running is probably February, and I haven't run since August. Uh, which like I remember when I first found out that I had to stop running in August, I cried for like an entire day, but then I was like, okay, we're moving on. We're doing like cross training. We're just going to train to give birth, like that's what we're doing. And then on the other side of this, I was actually talking to Claire Gallagher, and she was telling me that she had a bit of a crisis at like 2 weeks in where she was like, oh my God, it's going to take me longer than I want to get back to running. And I was like, oh, I think I've already like gotten past that because I had to like, accept this back in August. Like I've just accepted that I'm not running until February and it is what it is. But like 2 days ago, I had a day where um, I was just like, holy shit. Like my one thing that I really want to do outside of like taking care of this baby is just like not gonna happen for a long time, and that's really heartbreaking. It's the right decision to get surgery, as we'll talk about here in a bit, but yeah, it's just February is so far away. I'm sure time will fly because it already is, like with the baby. But I am happy that I have at least been able to start swimming a bit. I've started biking, uphill hiking, so I can still get in a decent amount of just like exercise until November 24th. And then I will be on an 8 week recovery. 2 weeks non weight bearing, but then after that, I can probably bike quite a bit in like my boot. So we'll see.
For those who don't know, can you explain like what Haglund's is? Because I'm sure they've heard it on other podcasts too, because there's other runners that have gone through the surgery already and other ones that aren't and like trying to problem solve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy once I decided to get the surgery, how many athletes I found out had either gotten the surgery or were thinking about it. So apparently it's very common. I think it will become more common the older that we all get in this sport, right? Like I feel like people just weren't running as long like prior. But a Haglin's
Yeah.
deformity is basically just a bone growth that's underneath your Achilles, and it's caused by like repetitive rubbing, which can either be due to shoes or just like for trail athletes, it's a lot of uphill running. And so yeah, it's just caused a lot of damage over the last 3 years. Like I have a lot of tendinopathy in underneath my Achilles, which the way my surgeon explained it was basically tendinopathy is like tendonitis but times 100. So he'll go in there and he'll get rid of the bone growth as well as the tendinopathy. And then basically after that, I'm just healing my Achilles back up for 8 weeks. Um,
Is
so
that something you felt in college too?
no, I have a bone growth on the front of my right ankle that I like had issues with in college. But this one didn't come about until I think it was like 2022.
So truly when you start trail running.
Yeah, it was either like right before or right after Mont Blanc Marathon. I remember going on a run and there being just this burning sensation in the back of my Achilles. And I took my shoe off and I had this massive swelling. And I was like, that's crazy. And it like just got worse and worse for like a couple of weeks, but then it just stayed the same for like 3 years until like beginning of this year. So maybe 2 years. Um, but yeah, basically right when I got really serious about training for or racing,
True.
trail running, I guess. But it is hereditary, I found out.
Hmm.
And my mom actually just got surgery on hers this summer. Um, I think obviously mine was just brought on earlier because I stress mine a lot more.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, the people that I've talked to that have gotten the surgery, told me they wish they had done it sooner and that they've been pain-free ever since. So I'm a little bit scared because any surgery is scary. Any recovery period is scary, but I feel very positive based on the feedback that I've gotten from other people. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, my surgeon is a runner, which makes me feel really confident as well. I like him. So,
In Reno.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I think, Ian, we've been talking about it for a while. I think it is the right call at this point. Like you've
yeah.
tried everything else that you
Oh,
could.
yeah. I've even tried time off and it's still,
Yeah.
swollen after 3 months of not running. So, It's better than when my Achilles was also torn, but it's still quite swollen.
Oh, Emery's hustling and bustling down there.
Yeah, he's thinking
Yeah,
about waking up, but we'll see.
dang.
He's just
Well,
stinky.
MK's in it right now, you guys.
Yeah, baby, Achilles, gonna be 2 weeks non-weight bearing with a baby, but fortunately this baby doesn't do any like much of anything other than eat and sleep, so it'll be fine. It'll just be like I will need help getting down the stairs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, also, you just grew a baby and, like, blinders on and just look in the front windshield, you know?
Yeah.
Like, kind of the home stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
I
you
mean,
could see
compared
the
to the
end.
9.5 months it was pregnancy, like making it to
Exactly.
February is really not that big of a deal, especially since I get to like exercise and stuff this month. So it's not like I'm just going straight.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just
I
no
get that.
running. I did ask Rick. I texted Rick like 3 days ago before I had this like little breakdown. I was like, is there any chance that I'm gonna get to run walk before November 24th? And he said, no, not worth the risk. I was like, I know you're right.
Sometimes we
But
just need those. But it's also
yeah.
kind of like what's it called? February's when you found out you were pregnant. It's kind of
Yeah.
a cool
Full
cycle to it.
circle.
Yeah, full circle. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a whole year, but it will have been a year of growth. So, and lots of change. I got lots of time to like adapt to having a baby now without trying to like squeeze in running and be stressed about how to do it. I feel like by the time I get there, it'll be like I have a schedule. I know like when I can exercise and when I can
100%.
do things. And yeah, I won't have to go through that like kind of in between phase.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be 4 months at that point. You'll have such a system down.
Yeah. He'll have an actual sleep cycle at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a blessing in its own way. Okay, I do have to ask you because you did a post of you eating some Never Second while you were in labor. Can you please explain
Yes.
that to the audience?
Yeah, yeah. So, once you get the epidural, you can only have liquids. And I knew that ahead of time, and I like packed solid snacks in case I couldn't get the epidural like at a certain point or something. But I also packed like a handful of Never Seconds because I was like, I could be in labor or I could be pushing for 3 hours. I could be in labor for 24 hours. Like, and if I can only have liquids, like, what am I gonna eat? And so, yeah, I actually only had to take like one gel because I wasn't in labor for that long. But it was so funny. The nurses were like, "What is that?" I was like, "Oh, this is my running nutrition. It's just straight sugar."
Yeah.
And then I had my like soft flask water bottle because then I could actually like hold on to it in the hospital bed and like drink in between contractions. Um, which they were funny. They were like, "You do know that you're getting like all of your hydration that you need through this IV, right?"
I
And I was
mean,
like, "Yeah, but I'm also like holding my breath and pushing as hard as I can and like screaming. I need to like coat my throat. I need some
yeah, yeah.
water, okay?" But they definitely were like they were a little, I think, baffled by me.
Dude, I think that's a new type of pregnancy unlocked, like carbs while you're pushing. It
It
makes sense
was
to me.
Yeah, I mean, if you're pushing for 3 straight hours, like the way that you push in birth is like every time you have a contraction, you push 3 times for 10 seconds. And you're like holding your breath and you're like flexing your abdomen as hard as you can and like trying to push this baby out for 30 seconds. I thought I was gonna like black out every time I got done pushing. And so I was
Totally.
like, I need some freaking carbs for the middle like of this. I need to be able to keep going or I'm gonna run out of steam.
Dude, I think it's genius.
It was great.
Yeah. So if you're about to have a baby, check out
Whether you're training through pregnancy, you're having a baby actively, or you're getting back on your feet,
or you're
try Never
supporting
Second.
someone through their pregnancy, buy them some Never Second.
Yeah. Yeah, my husband, he whipped it out and he opened it for me because I was like, I literally cannot think about opening that thing. But yeah, go ahead and try Never Second. We've got a code for you. It's SubHub25 for 25% off on all of your orders.
Yep,
That's a great
neverq.com.
advertisement.
I know, that was great. They should like put that on their Instagram.
I love it.
New market unlocked.
All right. So, I mean, unless you have more questions about my day, I think we should move on to you.
Yeah, let's do it. So MK was busy having a baby. You were in the hospital for a day after,
Yeah.
and then on her way out, I was going into a hospital. Let's see. My actual surgery was on the 16th. Yep.
Yeah.
So MK was still kind of there, but I was entering the hospital in Mammoth Lakes to get surgery on my fifth metatarsal. Yep.
Finally.
Finally. Well,
I mean, it happened fast, but also finally.
yeah, it was kind of like I got home from CCC. I'll try to do the Smart Notes version. Got x-rays. Doctor was like, it's not looking great, but we should still give it a little bit more chance. Sometimes it looks worse before it finally, because with small bones in your body, i.e., like fingers, toes, there's osteoblasts and then there's osteoclasts. Osteoclasts clean up the bone before the osteoblasts come in and then actually spit out the new bone. And then there's the remodeling and stuff. He's like, it could be the osteoblast. So let's just give it another like 3 to 4 weeks. So then I got x-rays on October 14th, went in, came in shaking his head. And I was like, all right. And he's like, doesn't look good. It's officially a non-union, which I think in the medical world, you have to wait 90 days for like in quotes an official. I don't know if it's like an insurance company thing or whatever,
Huh.
but the 90-day mark is actually really important for like my surgery getting insurance to cover it, part of it. And so I ended up having surgery on the 91st day, which is like the best situation possible. Because we decided, well, I signed up for PRP and then I slept on it. And I was just like, it was keeping me up all night. I was like, I don't see this working out like it did last time because last time it was tendon and a little bit of bone, but the bone was mostly connected. It just like the tendon had ripped off part of the sheath of the bone. So that made sense to me. I'm like, yeah, the tendon just needs like a little extra help. Whereas this, I'm like, the bone is literally floating out there. Like there's nothing attached at this point. Like it is fully fractured. And it's been 90 days. Granted, I didn't give it the best shot, but I have rested it here and there. And at this point past CCC, I was like running once a week or twice a week. And then I fully took time off after that first x-ray, or I forgot what happened. But needless to say, I like texted him. I was like, you know what? This is why I'm not feeling PRP. One, it's just like I don't feel it in my intuition like I did last time. Two, I'm navigating like being a professional athlete, having already lost what's felt like a whole year. I had broken arrow, which was great, but it basically have lost a year. Three, I'm gonna be frank with you, like I want to have kids and I just feel like I keep adding more time. I'd rather just to choose the tangent. Like I want to start
Yeah.
having kids in the next couple years and like this PRP option could add another 6 to 8 weeks
Yeah.
minimum.
If it
And
works.
if it works, yeah.
Yeah.
And so and then if it doesn't work, it's like adding potentially another like 2 to 2.5 months by the time I do the surgery. And I was like, I'd rather just choose the path forward that I know has a 99% chance of working if I do all the right things after. So let's just do that. And he's like, I totally get it. And I was like, okay, when can I have surgery? And he's like, tomorrow. I was like, all right. I need
Let's
to
do
get my
it.
stuff. Let's do it. So it was kind of good. I had no opportunity to like change my mind.
Yeah.
Uh and then prepping for surgery, I was like, yep, this is what I'm supposed to do. I know it's gonna suck. But in some, the surgery is they took part of my heel bone off, lodged it between the broken tips of the pinky toe that were now fully fractured. So it's like a little shish kebab. And then from the top of my pinky toe, they put a pin. And so that's in my toe right now, for 3 more weeks. So it's gonna be 6 weeks in total that it's like the pin is holding everything together. And then when it's healed, they just take the pin out and then I can finally do stuff because I can't get the pin wet. I can't move the pin or else it'll ruin everything basically. So I literally can't do much. Like I've started to do some core, but otherwise I'm like elevating in a boot, whatnot.
Yeah. It's funny because we interviewed Hayden Hawks. What was that? Like
Yeah.
February or March?
Yep.
No,
It
it would have been after I was pregnant. So maybe like March or April.
It was when he decided not to do Western states, actually. So it
Yeah.
was like end of May, beginning of June.
Okay. And I remember having that conversation with him where he was like, I'm a professional athlete. Like, I want to do this for 10 more years. Taking care of my body means getting surgery. So, like, I'm doing it. And I
Yeah.
left that conversation and was like, holy shit, I need to get surgery on my Haglins. Because prior to that, I was just like, no, I'll just keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And yeah, I feel like you just had that realization as well, where it's like, this is just an investment in my career at this point.
Yeah,
Just got to do it. Like surgery is just kind of like a necessity at this point.
totally. And it is, I mean, it didn't come without the cost of making decisions that led to that, right? Because it's
Yeah,
like, you know, in a different universe, I would have just put a boot on it in July and I probably would be running right now, but you can't live in the past and like have regret. It just weighs you
right.
down. So it's like, okay, I made the decisions I made with information I had at that time. And that was past Danny, that I already have lived those choices and those experiences. Now I just own that I made those decisions.
Yep.
And so now I just choose the best, what I perceive to be the best decision in this moment, which is choose the tangent, which is surgery versus PR. Because we were talking, I was like, what could I do that's not invasive? He's like, well, you could try PRP, then you could do all the other stuff like bone stim,
Yeah.
hyperbaric, red light. And the more I thought about it, I was like, well, I could also do surgery and do hyperbaric, red light, bone stim, and then I know for sure it's gonna work versus,
Yeah.
yeah, to your point, it's like I think that's something we both have, uh, what's it called? Have been able to digest from other athletes who have gotten surgeries in recent years. Because I do think surgery previously had such a what's that called? Like, taboo
Yeah, it was
to
almost
it.
like if you need surgery, you're done kind of thing.
Exactly, like, it's so scary, but modern medicine is so well equipped now
Yeah.
that, like, all these athletes, like, for example, I've become a big, fan of the NFL. They get injured on the field, they tear their ACL, the next day they're in surgery. They
Yeah.
don't they don't mess around. They're like
It's like an investment and it's like part of their career. Yeah.
exactly, it's like you just go under it, and thinking of all the athletes, like, Tom Evans had a huge surgery, has 1 UTMB, Abby Hall had a huge surgery, has 1 Western States,
Hayden
Hayden
Hawks has
Hawks
had
has
two
had surgery,
surgeries.
has 1 CCC, all you guys all
Max
know Hayden.
King
Max
recently
Keane.
got surgery. Zach Miller has gotten two surgeries. Andy
Yeah,
Wacker's gotten Haglund's deformity taken off. Like it's
and
yeah,
after Zach's surgery was prior to him getting second at UTMB,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
it's just like modern medicine is just so caught up. Doesn't mean not to do your research with your surgeons and everything and make
yeah,
sure like they know what they're doing, but it's just like it shouldn't be as scary as it used to be.
yeah,
And I mean, shameless plug because I've been taken to Substack, but like there's never going to be a good time for surgery. It's like there's always life going on. So you
yeah,
just have to, I mean, not to like tough cookie it, like literally just suck it up most of
yeah.
the time. Be like, I just got to get this done.
Yeah, I mean, I keep thinking about, or I kept thinking about once I had to stop running, like, man, I wish that I had done this before I had gotten pregnant. But it's like I couldn't control
You
that in a
couldn't
lot
control
of
it.
ways. Like maybe I shouldn't have run Black Canyon because then maybe my Achilles wouldn't be so torn. Like, but there's so many what ifs that are in the past, like you said, and now it's just like we're dealing with it as life comes now. So,
It's so freeing once you can truly start to adopt that, like, you just take life as it comes, and it's like, it is part of being a human
yeah,
to make those decisions and to just live them out and, like, own up to, like we were saying, like, you can't be so hard on your former self for
yeah,
making the decision they did in the moment. The best you could do is, like, try and learn as best as you can, but lessons are always gonna reemerge just disguised slightly differently.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
as long as you're not harming other people when making your decisions, you know?
yeah. No, for sure. I'm stoked that I have a baby now and I didn't like wait because of surgery, but
I'm stoked you have a baby.
I know he's so cool.
He's so cute. He's the best. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so lots of big life stuff in the sub-hub world.
Yeah, that's why we haven't been publishing, guys. Um, but
Although
yeah,
Danny
last things
crushed the
last.
newsletter because
Yes.
I could not.
Yeah. If you guys haven't checked it out, be sure to subscribe to the Subhub headlines. I'm also doing an article for the PTRA Substack coming up too, which I'm
Hell yeah.
excited about. It's one of those things where it's like I'm a pretty open book about things, like how I approach the sport. And I was like, damn, I'm revealing some secret stuff that I do. Do I really want to do this? And I was like, there's no way other people aren't doing this, right? But if not, you guys should check out PTR. I'm giving some mega professional beta on the next. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but it's like something I'm like very passionate about and stoked. Um, but yeah, we both will be kind of return. I mean, I'm expecting to return to run end of December,
Yeah.
and
And I'll return to run hopefully February because I think I'm out of the boot like mid-January. And
yeah,
then you have to like
run
transition,
walk and
out of
stuff.
that. So I think probably February I'll be run walking would be the hope.
Another like, because I have to admit, I feel so much. I When I first was told I was gonna get surgery, I was really sad. Just from it weighing on me, I'm like, shoot, I've already not been running and I'm not
Yeah.
going to run that for a while. Um, but I've felt so much more even keeled. Like I'm finding so many things to be gracious for and to take day by day. I'm coloring, I'm reading, gonna start that DJ set real soon. I've been writing a lot, walking with friends. But a mantra I think that has really helped per me starting in December and you starting in February. Physiologically, this is probably not true, but I'm gonna say it's true. It's like our baseline is probably gonna be the same regardless of how much time we take off.
Oh
Like
yeah. No,
when
I
you
believe
start
that.
running, yeah. So it's like whether you're taking off 4 weeks or like 8 to 10 weeks, you're probably going to start roughly in the same spot. And that has brought me so much inner peace, honestly. Instead of being like, shit, sorry guys, shoot another like 2 weeks, shoot another 2 weeks, like, and like perceiving in my mind, I'm like, now I'm going to start at 12-minute miles. And not that
Yeah.
that's not impressive, but you guys get what I'm saying. Whereas now I'm like, you know what? I'll probably be able to run 3 miles in 9-minute pace or 8-minute
Yeah.
pace at altitude, when you
Yeah.
start up.
No, I feel really fortunate that I have like Helen as a friend and even you like because Helen, a lot of people might know Helen Mino Faulkner. She took 2 years completely off of running and then came back and like was still pretty good. I mean, obviously it took her a couple years to get to the point where actually it only took her like a year and a half, 2 years to get to the point where she was third at CCC, but prior to that she was still like winning Broken Arrow or second at Broken Arrow 46K and then won the 46K the next year. And then with you, it's like you ended up having to take like 6 or 7 months of not ideal training or off after OCC and you came back and crushed Broken Arrow. So it's like I have a lot of good examples in my pocket of friends of like people that I can look to and be like, okay, I'm not gonna be that bad when I come back. Like it'll be fine.
No, you
Yeah.
definitely will not be. And the
No.
fire just like freaking rages when you take time off. You're like, let me
Yeah.
get back out there. I just want to do my thing.
Yeah, for sure. But
Any
we'll
ideas
get
on
there.
what next year will look like for you?
I mean, my hope would be to be able to race by June, maybe something short. But I think like realistically, an A race would be in the fall. Like if I
Yeah.
can have an A race in the spring, like or in the summer, great, like perfect. But I'm trying to work in my brain that maybe something like OCC or the Rut would be like my first big race, and then maybe like a JFK 50 mile in the fall. And then if things just like are absolutely stellar, like maybe I do Broken Arrow and that is like a great race. But I do think that starting short will be better just for like confidence purposes. So doing like maybe Broken Arrow 23K instead of the 46K. Maybe going to Speed Goat, but doing like the 28K, something like that. Just to get fast again, because that's where I'm happiest anyways, is when I'm like fast, and then I can move on to that like longer, more sustained stuff, I think.
Well, and you'll have that extra boost from
Yeah.
breastfeeding. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm already hiking. Like I hiked a mile and a half or something with almost 1,000 feet yesterday with him on me, and I was like, this is so hard. It was only he's only like 7.5 pounds, but I was just like, for some reason it was different than from when I was pregnant and I was 25 pounds heavier.
Well, you're also recovering. Like you
Yes,
literally
yeah.
have a wound in your stomach.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
has stopped bleeding, which is nice.
that's nice.
But yeah, I am still only 3 weeks postpartum, so
You're
yeah.
such a maniac. So many people are like, wait, she's doing what? And you're like, it was really hard. It's like, yeah, EmKay.
Well, in the place that Helen and I hiked, actually, it was funny in my head. I was like, yeah, I used to run this, but it's not something I ever ran anyways. It was like, it's so steep that you're power hiking. But in my head, I was like, oh, we're going for a hike. It'll be easier than when I normally do Peavine. It was not. And I had a baby strapped to me because you always hike Peavine. Oh my gosh. But we're learning.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Oh man. Yeah, that's kind of all
I-
life-wise.
Yeah, I think that's a great like rough sketch, like you said. Just like write it in light pencil and always better to have like that, like you said, like the A goals, and then if it comes sooner, awesome. And yeah, because it might be your body could very much rebound very quickly,
Yeah.
and June you're like, oh, I feel fine and
Yeah.
stuff.
What about you? What's kind of like your hope for next year based on December return to run?
Yeah, I need to requalify for CCC, which is hilarious. I just wish they would let me in. Like, not just me, just like elite
Yeah.
athletes and be like, you get a pass. But I'm thinking Chianti just because I will already be there for team camp. Like, we're just gonna be in Europe. And then
Oh,
I'm actually getting more intrigued by Transvolcania potentially.
okay. Yeah.
Um, just like it's bucket list item, but it'll be Canyons, 100K, or Transvolcania. And then these are all I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I'll see. I'll see. I'm
You
I'm
did send me
similar.
5 schedules or 4 schedules, but I get it.
They're kind of the same. It's
Yeah.
like it's either Canyons or Transvolcania, and then that determines whether I do Broken Arrow. But no matter what, I'm very enthralled by CCC right now in this moment. I'm not feeling going back to OCC. And then
Yeah.
after that, maybe a trials marathon because I want to feel fast
Oh,
again.
I need to do that too.
You need to do that too.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do CIM after JFK if I do
That'd be sick.
JFK.
That'd be cool. And we could run together
Oh,
because that's
wait,
the one
those
I'm
are too
thinking
close
too.
together. Maybe I'll do Houston in 2027. I don't know.
But dude, you ran 2 trail races and ran. I don't think trail races affect your road marathoning.
Yeah, maybe 50 miles is far though. Maybe I would
Yeah,
do a marathon in June instead of trying to hop onto the trails, like do grandma's or something.
dude,
That's not a bad idea. Because
not a bad
originally I was
idea.
hoping to do Boston, but I do think that April is probably a bit ambitious after a February return to run.
Yeah, you don't want to like feel rushed
Yeah,
coming off that.
yeah,
Um, okay. Well, that's our updates, guys. I do have this fun topic just very quickly because we are talking about road stuff.
yeah.
Um, so it's not just an update about us. We'll give you some sub-hub content. Um, athletes who I think and EmKay thinks should be supported in some way, who are crushing it currently. We're just focusing on Americans. We haven't done like a super deep dive globally. But if you are a manager, you're welcome for the names we're
Yeah,
about
it's
to provide.
November. You got some time still
I got some
to like
time.
look into these athletes, so we're just helping you out.
Yeah. The first is actually a close homie of EmKay's. And hi, Tommy.
Tommy just came to take the baby because he just got home from work, and I'm sweating with that kid on my lap.
Was he
All
wearing
right.
a Dodgers t-shirt? Is he a
No,
Dodgers fan?
no, he would
Oh,
never. He's wearing a Risley t-shirt. That's his
oh,
elementary school.
gotcha.
What's his name
Okay,
already?
I was about to
Dodgers?
say that.
Oh yeah, get out of here. He said, "Get out of
Get
here."
out of here.
All right,
That's good.
back to the athletes. Sorry.
Yeah. What's tickled this fancy is I saw a post by Erin Moyer, who EmKay knows, and she crushed a half marathon out in Las Vegas. And so she's my first pick for an athlete that currently is unsponsored. I would say like she has potential, but she's already showing great results. The ones that stand out are Broken Arrow and Kodiak, but I know she has some other stuff in there too.
Yeah, she was third at Big Alta this year, and she also raced Speed Goat, although I don't think that was a great day for her, but second at Kodiak in her debut 100K. I thought that was big.
Stellar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the major too, so she gets an automatic qualifier for CCC, or I guess OCC if she wanted to do that too.
So
Um,
if you're a brand, she's already in the race
yeah.
there.
And she's somebody I know who is going to try to hit that trials qualifier as well. So she's fast, you know.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
super cool. What else you got?
Um, the two athletes from Mammoth Trail Fest, Coleman Cragen and Clara Caspard, they both ran incredibly well there. Like Clara, broke my course record. What was it? By like 15 minutes or something, and she walked the last 3 miles because she bonked so hard. It
Wow.
was crazy. Yeah. So those two athletes, I would say, are definitely on that list. Coleman Cragen, I just saw him on Instagram running with Hayden Hawks the other day, who I'm pretty sure is his coach.
He is,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so he's
I
got
think
some
he's
good
in good
mentorship
hands.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're training with Hayden, that's great. He was eighth at Broken Arrow 46K, sixth at Speed Goat, fourth at Canyons. I think his fourth at Canyons and
Is
eighth
more
at Broken
impressive.
Arrow
Yeah.
are very impressive. And then he was fourth at the Kodiak 50K, which was an incredible field because it went Andrew Blondes, Alex
Who's won
Garcia
Sears and all
Carrillo,
before.
who's won Sears now, was third at Sagama and just second or third at World. So
Yeah.
pretty stellar person. Alex Garcia Carrillo, frequent on Golden Trail, and then Anthony Costales, and then Coleman Cragen. So it's like, yeah, that's a very hard podium to get on. So to be
Yeah.
right there knocking on the door after a stellar summer, I think, yeah, I his stock is high. I would
Yeah.
invest in that kid for sure.
And Clara Caspard, very new as well. She prior to Mammoth Trail Fest 50K had only run the Mount Baldy uphill twice, and that's it. And then comes and runs a 50K for the first time, and minus some bonking, like knocks it out of the park.
Didn't she recently? Now I need to look this up. Wasn't she also gonna run Kodiak?
She was trying to run Santa Barbara, I think.
Okay.
If she was running Kodiak, I think it was the shorter race, not the 50K, like the
Yeah,
20K or whatever.
I think I was confusing her with Elaney, who
Oh
was on
yeah.
the podium as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what she was gonna do was Mount Wilson.
She was gonna go for the FKT, right?
The like just general race
Oh,
in
okay.
ge in
Cool.
general. I'm trying to find her. Yeah. So those three, another one, which I can't believe this man is still not sponsored. Chad Hall.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I think with
is
him
this
it's
a
just
joke?
it is a bit of a joke. I think it's just he hasn't been healthy like for a long enough stretch, you know? Like he
Yeah.
when he has results, they're incredible, but then he gets hurt and kind of probably falls off of like sponsors' radars because there are other athletes like out there racing all year round. But like yeah, that man should be sponsored.
Yeah. So she did end up winning the Mount Wilson race. We
Oh,
should go see
cool.
if she took down our Strava crowns on that climb.
I didn't get any
I didn't either.
notifications. And let me tell you, I've been getting a lot of notifications while pregnant about people taking my CRs, and I'm getting really rubbed the
You
wrong way
can't do
about it.
anything about it, dude. That's been my whole last year.
Yes.
There's like I've gotten so many crowns and I'm like, if I could just go run that downhill right now, like, but it's good. It's good inspiration for when you get back
Yes.
to it. But I know
Yes.
exactly what you've been
It's
feeling.
like once a month. I'm like,
Yeah.
God, what?
I
Feels
can't
like
do
you guys
anything
are doing
about
this on purpose.
it. It's probably they're like, yeah, she's out for 4 more months. We got to get in.
One of them being Helen, but she took a CR that we both had together, so I guess it is
Yeah,
okay.
it's okay. Anybody else?
Those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head. And like Danny said, we didn't really look into like European athletes, but I do think generally like a lot of European athletes have a sponsorship of some sort, even if it's just like socks. Like Cetus Matrix sponsors a lot of athletes, Compress Sport, or like in the skyrunning world, especially in Spain, I feel like there are a lot of clubs.
Yeah,
Like people are sponsored by a club, which is kind of cool. Whereas in
yeah,
like the US, we don't seem to have those like very many opportunities for just like small sponsorships. Like a couple of people were just sponsored by like Precision, and that's kind of like a new thing. But otherwise, I feel like you either have like a shoe contract or you have nothing, which is kind of a bummer.
I would agree with that. I actually thought of two more names. They are both female, but Alicia Vargo.
Yeah.
I don't know if she wants a sponsor. And then Sophie Shunk. She was third at Kodiak and she just started trail running. And she has also qualified for the Olympic marathon trials before. So I think she's going to be one to watch for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll
Cool.
think about that a little bit more, guys. But we just wanted to sprinkle in something that wasn't about us.
Yeah.
Uh, but we wanted to keep you guys updated as well as far as why we have not been present.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our story time. I have my water bottle here that's covered in an I love uphill sticker and
Oh,
a
it looks so
sub
good.
ultra baddie sticker. So if you guys have not checked out our sticker collaboration with Wild Strides Paper Company, make sure you go do that because the stickers are super cute. I recently put my less than 26.2 miles sticker on my van, and I hope that people think it's funny. Because I feel like everybody's like has their 26.2 and 13.1 stickers, and I just like that we put less than.
I'm hoping
Uh,
we could put one on our van too, because I still have another one. That'd be so
yeah,
funny.
yeah. I love it. But yeah, our code for those is Subhub 15, right?
Yeah.
So Subhub 15 at wildstridespaper.com. Get yourself some stickers for your water bottles.
Yeah, check it out. And as far as what's coming up, just kind of close this out. We're gonna have a couple interviews coming out. We're gonna do a Troy update before the end of the year. Go check out the Sky Runner World Series final this weekend. You can see the standings in the latest SubHub headlines. And I think that's all for now.
Yeah, honestly, a race to watch also, I think is going to be that Santa Barbara bu race by
Really?
UTMB. I would not have said that maybe like a month ago, but it feels like everybody has signed up for it. So I feel like that will be a race for us to kind of look forward to as well. I'm looking at the elite list right now. We've got Lauren Gregory, Helen Mino Faulkner, Ruby Lindquist, Sarah Carter, Ashley Brosovin, Rachel Tomajic. I know Emily Clark's running. On the men's side, it's Rod, Taylor Stack, Jonathan Ray, Remy LaRue. It's gonna be honestly like a very decent 50K.
Oh man, that's pretty good. I didn't end up doing that. Then that's way harder than I thought it was gonna be. No offense. There was no one, I didn't know who was gonna sign up, but I was like, surely everyone's tired.
Everybody
Like,
signed up like in the last 3 weeks, it feels like.
that's super fascinating. I'm so intrigued if Lauren and Rachel want to get into OCC.
Yeah, I mean, Lauren would be great at that distance.
She would be great at that distance. And then what would her, oh man, I'm so intrigued now. Okay. This is exciting. Yeah, maybe we'll do a little preview for that one in a couple
Yeah.
weeks.
But that's all we got for you guys. And yeah, we don't really know exactly what our interview schedule looks like yet, but we
We'll get to
definitely,
it.
yeah, we've had some people to chat with, and both of us have a little bit more time in our schedule now. So hopefully you'll be hearing from us a little bit more frequently in the next couple weeks.
Yep. So don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you guys soon. This has been the Sub Hub Podcast.
Bye.
Bye.